Today we're talking about how to increase returning customer rate for your e-commerce brand. The reason why some brands keep on growing is because they have a customer who return over and over again to buy from their brand. And on the flip side, the reason why many brands remain stuck at the same revenue level is because they don't have a customer who returns to buy from their brand ever again. So you might have a great product, but how do you actually get customers get hooked to your brand and get them to spend multiple times with the brand? So there's a specific strategy, and I've helped multiple e-commerce brand researching on why customers keep coming back and why they keep on growing, and they all have the same thing in common. So in this video, I'm going to break it all down on what strategies they use and specifically which you can use for your brand today, so you can increase the rate of returning customer rate. So by the way, I'm Anthony. I run email and SMS marketing for e-commerce brand, and I've helped dozens of e-commerce brands generate millions of revenue through email and SMS marketing by this point. So with that being said, let's not waste any more time and let's jump right in. So how to increase returning customer rate? So first off, what actually is returning customer rate? So returning customer rate is the percentage of customers who come back to make a second, third, or more purchases from your store after their first transaction. It is one of the most fundamental indicator of customer loyalty, brand health, and long-term business sustainability. So the way you calculate RCR, so RCR means returning customer rate, and the way you calculate is if you divide the number of returning customers by total number of customers and multiply that by 100, you will get returning customer rate for your e-commerce store. And so let's just say in Q1 your store had 5,000 total customers and 2,000 of them had purchased before from your brand. So the RCR is going to be 2,000 divided by 5,000 into 100. It's going to be 40% of those customers were returning customer. So why is it actually important? Why is RCR important? So we're going to go over that. So RCR is one of the most financially important metric in e-commerce. Acquiring a new customer costs 5 to 7 times more than retaining an existing one. Just think about it. So if you're spending money on ads all the time to get new customers, then you cannot sustain the business in long term, because acquiring a new customer is going to cost 5 to 7 times more than just retaining an existing one. And so when you've already have one customer buy from your brand, and if you retain that customer, like, you're gonna increase the profit. You don't have to spend more to acquire the customers, and it's just going to make sure your e-commerce brand is healthy in the long term as well. So increasing returning customer rate directly reduces your customer acquisition cost and improves profitability without spending more on ads. So here are the importance: profitability. So returning customers spend 67% more on average than first-time buyers. So in general, 20% of the customers that you have for your brand spends 80% of the revenue that you get to your brand. And so that means you have higher margin without extra ad spend. So second is it's predictable. A higher recurring customer rate creates recurring predictable revenue, which helps you have a better inventory plan, staffing, and cash flow planning. And then the third is it lowers your marketing costs. So returning customer need less convincing. Even a single email can trigger a repurchase because they've already bought from your brand. They know you, they like you, they trust you, they trust your brand. And then if they've already used the brand, then they're more likely to return. If their experience with the brand, the product, and everything that comes down to post-purchase experience, which I'm going to go down, is good, then it's going to lower your marketing costs. So it dramatically reduces cost per order. And the third is word of mouth. The customer who return multiple times refer a friend and leave positive reviews. So that helps you have organic growth that compounds over time. And speaking of compounding, so we have revenue compounding effects. So let's just say you have 10,000 customers in year one, and if your RCR is 10% returning customer rate, you retain 1,000 of them. But if you improve it by 35%, let's just say you retain 3,500 of them, and those extra 2,500 customers who cost you nothing to acquire spend more per order and buy more frequently. So the thing that people don't understand here is the compounding effect of those repeat customers over 2 to 3 years is just enormous, because that's a straight profit for your brand, because you don't have to spend any more dime to get them to buy from your product, because they already have. All you can do is send them an email and have a good really experience with their brand, and then they're gonna come back, and it's going to increase the profit, overall profit for your brand. So what's the reason on customers coming back to your brand? So if you understand the core reason on why people buy multiple times from a brand, then you can build a strategy around increasing retention of the customer. So these are the core reason on why customers come back. So reason one is quality, and it is by far the most important metric that exists to make sure sure the customers keep coming back. Because even though you have a really great marketing, you have everything in place, but if you just don't have a good product and the quality is not good, then they're not going to buy from your brand. So on the flip side, if you, let's just say you have nothing else going on, you have no marketing, you don't have post-purchase series to get them to buy more, and then like you don't have any strategy, but the quality of the product is so good that it's like they don't care about marketing, because the product that you're selling solves their problem. They don't care about marketing, they want to solve the problem, you know. And so like quality is really important. So if your product performs as promised or better, then they're gonna come back. It's just simple. Quality is the number one driver of organic repeat purchases, so no system, no marketing can beat that. So number one you need to focus on, if you want the same customers to keep on coming back, is to focus on the quality of the product. And that's what most people miss. They think it's not, it's just the quality, because at the end of the day, in the long term, quality is what matters. And the second reason is best price, best value. So customer feel they're getting their money's worth, then they're gonna come back. Like value does not always mean cheapest, it means the best outcome for the price. Then the third is accident delivery. Fast, reliable, well-packaged delivery gets a positive experience that reinforces the purchase decision. If you don't have a good delivery and if it's too long, then you know they might, at the next time they order, they might think it's just gonna take too long, I don't have time to wait for that, let's not buy from this brand. So you want to make sure that delivery, like timing and everything, packaging and everything is good as well. Third is customer service. This is important one as well. When issues arise, how you handle them determines whether a customer returns. Great service turns compliance into loyalty. So let's just say they have some issues with order, and then you an email, and if you reply 3 to 4 days after they've sent their first email, then the next time they're gonna buy, even the first time, if you don't reply to them, it's just like customer service is like too not good, and it's just gonna leave a negative impression. And even before the product arrives to their hand, it's just gonna be a complete mess, and you don't want to make sure that customer service is really good. And so the other one is habit and reminding. So many customer would return, but they simply forget. So consistent, relevant communication builds purchasing habits. So you need to be sending like constant emails and remind them on the product so that they return. So that's why sending an email campaign on a weekly basis is extremely important. So we'll go over that. And so emotional connection, like this is a little bit hard one, because like it depends on the brand to brand. So customers who feel seen, valued, and connected to the brand are far more loyal than the transactional buyer. So brand story and stuff is important, but also at the same time, like segmentation. If you send relevant messages to the relevant customers, then you can have some connection with those customers, which I'm gonna go over in this video. The key insight you need to understand here is retention starts at acquisition. So how you word your offer, how your products are bundled, and how your messaging is set up, all of this determines whether you are building for long-term loyalty or short-term sales. So the moment they interact with your brand, all the like everything, the copy you have, the offer you have, the product, everything matters. And so it just depends on how your offer, how your products are bundled, and how your messaging is set up. So that also determines whether the customer are going to return or not. And so what high customer returning rate actually tells you is, if you have a high returning customer rate, so that means you have a product market fit, because customers are not going to come back if you don't have a product market fit. So if customers don't come back, your product or experience isn't compelling enough. The second thing that it tells is your post-purchase experience is good. So the journey from order placed to order received and loved determines whether a customer returns. So returning customer rate reflects packaging quality, delivery speed, unboxing experience, product quality, and customer support all in one number. So post-purchase experience, if you have a high returning customer rate, that means you have a post-purchase experience is really good as well. And the product loyalty, high RCR on specific products tells you which item drive loyalty. You can prioritize those in restocking, bundling, and cross-sell strategies. So let's just say the customers are coming back to the same product over and over. So what that means is you can prioritize on restocking, bundling, and cross-sell, and you can know that that product is a winner, and you can market that more than any product that you have for your brand. So next is the discount dependency. If RCR only spikes during sale, that is a red flag. You are training customer to wait for discount. Healthy RCR should grow independent of promotion. So you cannot just be relying on discount. It just shrinks your profit margin. And then what it tells is, next thing, channel quality. You can break down returning customer rate by acquisition channel to learn which channel bring in higher quality, more loyal customer, not just more customers. So let's just say you have more customers who keep on coming back and they came from Instagram. You can market your product on Instagram more. Maybe it's an ad, maybe it's an organic, like whatever it might be. You can, and because those audience are resonating with your product. So that is the thing. So And next up, we have customer segmentation. So segment 1 is one-time buyers. So if customer has just purchased once and they've never returned, so what you can do is you can have win-back campaign, re-engagement sequences to make sure they buy once again. And then the second is occasional buyers. Let's just say they purchase for 2 to 3 times, but it's inconsistent. So what you can do to them is nurturing campaigns, loyalty program enrollment, making sure that you're sending campaigns on their inbox every single week so that they are educated on the brand well enough to make their second purchase. And then loyal buyers who've bought more than 4 times, they have consistent frequency. So you have to treat those customers with VIP treatment and early access exclusive rewards. So the mistake that most brands make is they treat all of their customers the same, and you cannot be doing that, because in general, right, like 20% of the customer are going to generate 80% of the revenue in the long term in general. And so when you treat those 20% same as other 80% of the customers, they might not spend more in the future. So you need to make sure that who are consistently buying from your brand, you need to just treat them better. So you give them early access, you give them different kind of emails, you have a segment of VIP on your klaviyo, and then you can send specific emails to those people. So what is the role of email in increasing returning customer rate? So email is the #1 returning customer rate channel. So the reason for that is it reaches customers who already know and trust you. No cold outreach is needed. And then the average email marketing ROI is $36 to $42 for every $1 spent, much of which comes from repeat purchase campaigns. So it's just extremely cheap. You can get the same customers over and over and again. All you need to do is send relevant, really good email campaigns, and there are strategies that I'm going to talk. So email is really crucial in order to make sure you have a returning customer rate. In fact, like it is the one channel for recurring customer rate. So it allows deep personalization based on purchase history, behavior, and preferences, and keeps your brand top of the mind between purchases, reducing the chance customers drift to competitors. And without email, most customers simply forget you, because if you only depend on the algorithm to get seen in front of the customers, then they might never see you again. But if you have a really good email strategies, and then if you have a really good email system going in the background, then they will hear what you have to say on a regular basis, which is the key driver to make them come back to your brand again. So email is the #1 channel for returning customer rate. And so what you can do in terms of email is there are certain stages. Like one stage is post-purchase, right? So the email role in this post-purchase is to build trust, set expectation, and create excitement. And the goal for this email, post-purchase email, is to reduce buyer's remorse and ensure satisfaction. So as soon as they buy, make sure that, they're thinking like, did I make a right decision? You gotta make sure that you send them a relevant message to reduce buyer's remorse. And second stage is onboarding. So in this stage, the role of the email is educate on product use, tips, and how-tos. So the goal of it is maximize product value and deepen connection before they even get once they get the product on their hand. You give them tips and tricks, product use. And then stage is re-engagement, next stage. So in this stage, the email role is to remind lapsed customer you exist again. And so the goal is to bring back customers before they're lost. And the second stage is loyalty. You reward repeat buyers and deepen relationship. In this stage, that's the role of the email. And the goal of this is to convert occasional buyers to loyal buyers. And the last stage is win back. So what this does is to recover customers who've gone silent. And the goal is to reactivate churned customer cost effectively. So as you can see here, if you have a better segmentation, that means you send more relevant email, and you're sending more relevant emails means it gets higher engagement. Higher engagement means more repeat purchases, and more repeat purchases means higher recurring customer rate, and high recurring customer rate means more data to segment, and it just repeats. So segmentation is really crucial in order to make sure that the customers return to your brand, because if you're sending irrelevant messages to irrelevant customers, then they're not gonna get connected to the brand. So the brand that win long-term master keeping their existing customers coming back, email is the most cost-effective and controllable lever to make that happen. So if you want to win long-term, you gotta have returning customer rate, and email is the most cost-effective and controllable lever to make that happen. So next up, we have the crucial 14 days of customer retention. And the first 14 days after a customer receives their order are the highest leverage window in retention. This is where loyalty is either built or lost, especially for first-time buyers. So what first-time buyers are thinking pre-delivery they are the first-time buyers. They've never bought from your brand before. They are not loyal yet. They are uncertain. The internal questions might be, is this the right decision for me? Will I regret this? Is there a better option out there? Am I overpaying? Are these claims believable? So these are all the things that could have in their head. So your goal in pre-delivery is to confirm that yes, you made the right decision. This is the right decision that you ever made. That is the message that you have to send to this customer. So confirm this is the right decision. Reduce skepticism, increase perceived value. So week 1, pre-delivery. So the goal here is to reduce doubt and increased perceived value of the product before the product even arises. So as soon as they order a product, you gotta make sure you reduce all the doubts and you increase the perceived value of the product. So the way you do that is congratulate the customer in every single message. So reinforce that they made the right decision. Don't be afraid to repeat the same messages across all emails, because we are human beings, we forget stuff, and not every customer reads every message. So the next thing you can do is to reduce skepticism. The way you do that is by providing social proof, success stories, and testimonial from customers already using the product. If delivery takes time, be proactive with delivery updates and customer service contact. And then the second thing you can do here is to increase perceived value. So you can add complementary value like app collaboration, free ebooks, bonus content, or users guides. Like these are the kind of email that makes the perceived value of the brand higher, and so the customers feel they paid far less than they what actually are going to receive. So next thing is use future-based framing. So customers that what they will be able to do once the product have arrived and how the life is going to look like and stuff. So future-based scenes dramatically increase perceived value. So this week 1 is the most crucial stage to make sure that you send a relevant message to the relevant customers. I mean, relevant customers is obviously the people who have ordered. And so the thing you need to realize here is bad customer service during the first month is the #1 driver of churn for new customers. If a product is delivered through a customer service interaction, stay in contact proactively. And the worst thing you can do is not reply back to them at all. That is the worst thing you can do, and you're never gonna see those customers ever again. So you gotta make sure the customer service and everything is on point. The message you send is on point. So this is the week 1, and these are the stuff that you can add on your email. And as soon as you do that, this is going to make sure that there's a likelihood of high chance that the customers is going to come back if the quality of the product is good, obviously. Next up, we have week 2, post delivery. So in this post-delivery stage, the goal is to reinforce product benefits, collect feedbacks, and identify at-risk customers before they churn. So remind the customer of the product's benefit and expected timeline for results. Many customers abandon product before they even see the result. So you need to make sure that you have to be clear about. So whether if it's a supplement brand and you're saying that your product, whatever problem it might be solving, it does in 60 days, but in reality it does not solve that. It might take 90 to 100 days to see the result. Then you cannot be doing that on the marketing side of things as well, because if you want to grow long term, then you got to make sure that your product actually works. And if it actually works, you got to constantly remind them that you're in you're in week 2, it takes time, just keep on going, be consistent, that kind of stuff. This is post delivery. So it depends on product to product. I mean, you have to know about your product more than anyone, because that's what you're selling, right? So post delivery stage, you got to talk about the product benefits, expected timeline for result. Many customers abandon product before they even see the result, like I said. So what you can do in this phase is also collect zero-party data after day 14. Find out how customers is experiencing the product so far. This makes sure that the brand actually cares about the customers, and they're gonna likely be connected towards the brand if you go that deep. So personalization, just collecting why they bought. One of the most powerful retention tool is simply understanding why each customer made their purchase. If you know why they bought, then you can use the same angle for other customers, and then that is the way you do it. So this data allows you to send hyper relevant and follow-up content. So when to collect is in thank you email immediately after purchase. This email gets the highest open rate of any in your sequence. So this is where you collect why you bought on the thank you email. So you can include a scan me QR code or link to a short survey or embed a simple form. It could be a Google form. And just keep it a 1 to 2 question. If you're asking like what question to send, you can ask something like, what was your main reason for buying today, and what result are you most hoping for? If you know the reason and if you know the expectation of the customer that have like what result they're hoping for, then you can market it like that in the future. So this is extremely crucial. If you know why they bought, then it's going to be easier for you to sell the product as well. So how to write retention survey question though? So the way you do this is you can never include no option in retention survey question. So negative parameters, anchor customers. This is all psychology, by the way. So instead of like, if you just have you results yet, and if you, instead of asking yes or no, you can ask something as, where are you in the journey? I have felt early benefits. I need a little more time. So if you have no, then like instance the product does not work, like no, and your brand saying that if yes or no, so you cannot have that. So you can use something as like, maybe it works but it might take a little time. This is what this means. I need a little more time. So I felt early benefits and I need a little more time. So this keeps customer in a positive frame and it gives you useful segmentation data without reinforcing doubt. What are the actual strategies to improve recurring customer rate through emails? Like now we're going to talk about the strategies. So the first is post-purchase email sequence. Most brands send one order confirmation and stop. That's a massive missed opportunity. This is what you want to do to increase repeat purchases. So day 0 is like, as soon as they ordered a product, you got to send them order confirmation. This is transactional, builds trust immediately. And then on the day 1, shipping confirmation. So just the purpose of this is to build excitement. Just say something as your order is on its way. And then on the day 3 to 5, pre-delivery content. So how to use the product, what to expect, and stuff like that. And then on the day 7 to 8, post-delivery check-in. So are you happy? Do any need help? So like those are the kind of email that you can send on day 7 to 10. And on day 14, you can do a review request plus cross-sell. So ask them for a review and then do a cross-sell, like whatever the complementary product that might be from the depending on what product they bought. So soft sell customer who bought X also love Y. You can do a soft sell here. And on the day 21 to 30, first repurchase nods. So relevant recommendation to trigger second purchase. So this is what you can do on your post-purchase sequence. This is one of the important email sequence that you can have for your brand, because once they made a purchase, you cannot just let go of them. You got to make sure you send consistent relevant message to them so that they buy again and they have overall good experience with the brand. So the strategy 2 is personalized product recommendation. So generic, you might also like email, perform poorly. So truly personalized recommendation drive repurchases. So you can use the purchase data, recommend complementary products. So let's just say a customer bought coffee maker bar, so you can upsell on like coffee beans, filters, descaler. So if you recommend them depending on what they bought, then first is you're gonna have more sale because you're selling a complementary product to what they bought. And then the second is time to replenishment cycle. So when the consumable run out, you gotta send them a replenishment reminder so that they come back again. And if their timing is right, then they're likely to come back. So segment by category, never recommend product outside their demonstrated interest. And emails just before consumable run out, supplement, skincare, coffee. So this kind of brand. And so the third strategy we have is replenishment reorder campaigns. For consumable product, replenishment emails are among the highest converting email types because they're sent at the exact moment of need. So timing like day 25. Maybe you have a 30-day cycle, and at day 25, 5 before running out, you can send first replenishment email. And on day 30, if there is no repurchase, you can follow up reminder if they did not buy the product. And on day 35 final, you can do a last reminder with small incentive. You can also, it is better for you to give a small incentive and make sure the customer come back rather than leaving them. So this is a 3 sequence that you can use if you have replenishment or reorder kind of product that you're selling. So remind them what they bought and when, make reordering frictionless, one-click reorder link, offer subscribe and save to lock in recurring revenue. So this is the strategy you can use if it's a replenishment product. And so the next strategy that you can use is win back and re-engagement campaigns. So customer who haven't purchased in 60 to 180 days are at high churn risk and need a dedicated win back sequence. So email 1 can be like timing of this can be like day 60 to 90 of inactivity. So the message you can send here is we miss you, plus reminder of the last purchase, plus what's new. Like this is just a win back, so they have not made a purchase with your brand. Maybe it's been 60 to 180 days, so to remind them the product, that's why you run this campaign. So email 2, it could be 1 week after email 1. So message you can send is stronger value prop. You can show the social proof and you can give them an incentive. Like I said, it's better to give them incentive rather than letting them go. So, and email 3, 1 week after you send email 2, you can say that last chance of 15% is expiring in 48 hours. So this is the 3 email that you can use for re-engagement and win back campaign, which is going to likely bring the customers back. And so the important thing is after the sequence, if there is no response, suppress them from regular campaigns, because mailing unengaged subscribers hurt deliverability and skews your RCR matrix. So this is the 4th strategy. So 5th strategy is you can run loyalty and VIP program. A well-run loyalty program dramatically increases RCR by giving customer a tangible ongoing reason to return. So welcome email when they join the program, this is what you can do. As soon as they join the program, send them a welcome email and point balance update. You're only 200 points from a free gift, tier upgrade notification, you've reached gold status. It depends on the brand to brand on how you're doing it, like loyalty and VIP program. But if you have some kind of like you're towards something, if you have a message of you are 200 points from a free gift, then they are likely to keep on buying the product. So points expiring warning creates urgency, exclusive member only offer, and early product access. So VIP strategy, like you identify 10 to 20% of customers by purchase frequency or spend and send them early access to launches, exclusive discounts, and personalized notes. So these customers have high RCR and CLV, customer lifetime value. So nursing them pays disproportionate return. So this is a VIP strategy. The next strategy we have is cart and browse abandonment email. So this applies to returning customers who showed intent but did not complete a purchase. So this email bring customers back mid-funnel. So let's just say someone abandoned a cart. After 1 hour of abandoning cart, you can do a gentle reminder you left something behind, and these are the customers who've already bought from before. So you can have separate segment on cart and browse abandonment flow on the people who actually bought in the past and the customers who have not. And so after like 24 hours, like you address objections, social proof, and then customer reviews, and 72 hours later you can do optional small incentive to close the purchase. So for returning customer, personalize with purchase history based on what you loved the last time. We think you'll love this too. So based on their last purchase with your brand, you recommend them some complimentary product. And so strategy 7 is milestone and lifecycle emails. Like these are really good to have. And so recognizing customers at key moments in their journey creates emotional connection and drive repeat purchases. So one could be birthday email. So if you send the email on their birthday, it's gonna be extremely personalized. This email is specifically just for you. Like that's the tone of the birthday email, and personalized discount on their birthday. One of the highest open rate email in all of email marketing, birthday emails. So purchase anniversary. So let's just say it's been 1 year since they first bought from your brand. So you can say, here's a thank you gift and here's an incentive. You can give an incentive if you want to, if you're running. And so after X purchases celebration, you've ordered from us maybe 5 times, you're officially a family. Here's a loyalty reward. You gotta treat VIP customers different way than you do treat the rest of the customers. So free gift with next purchase. Offer a free sample cross-sell. If you like this product, here is one-time discount on your next product. So you can run this as well. So strategy 8 is educational and value add content. So not every email should ask for a purchase. Brand that only send promotional email train customers to tune them out or wait for discounts. So you have to mix in value-based content to keep engagement high. So maybe something like how-to guides and tutorials for products they purchased, tips, tricks, and creative uses, ideas, behind the scene brand storytelling, user generated content, and community highlights. So this is to make sure that your brand is on the top of the mind of the customer so that they make a repeat purchase again. I mean, this is specifically for campaigns. And so the next strategy we have is deep customer segmentation. So the biggest RCR killer in email marketing is irrelevance. So deep segmentation ensures every email feels personally relevant, improving open rate, click rate, and repurchase rate. So segment type is based on the purchase history, purchase frequency, RFM, recency, demographic, acquisition source, product affinity. And so the way you use it is if they have some products that they've bought, you can give email from same category, product type, price point, recommend what aligns. If they bought like more than once, then you give them a completely different email. And so it depends on if you have a really deep segmentation, then whenever you're sending an email, it's just gonna feel resonated with the customers that they're receiving the email. And if it's relevant and if it connects with the brand, if it connects with the customer, then they are likely to buy from your brand again. So this is the entire idea of deep customer segmentation. And so the next up we have SMS plus email combination. So email is good for product recommendations, storytelling, education, loyalty updates, and SMS is for time-sensitive notes like flash sale, restock alerts, order updates, last chance offers, something like that. So pairing email SMS amplifies recurring customer rate, resulting by keeping you present across multiple touchpoints without being intrusive. So the next up we have offer placement. This is a critical retention lever, and so like a free offer beats any discount percentage or dollar off every time. So let's just say you're running a supplement brand, and let's just say you give a one bag of supplement free, and that's 2 weeks free. This is going to outperform generic 20% off because in the mind of the customer, they actually get the bag, and this is more tangible, concrete, and emotionally compelling. So whenever you're running an offer to get the customer back, you can do something as this as well, just making sure that you give them a free offer. So you should always frame offer in terms of what customer gains, not what they save, because they care about the gain more, like what they gain more about what they save. So how to keep offer that don't worsen retention? So you have to understand your product uses, quantity consumed, and billing cycle before building offers. So you never offer a discount that trains customer to only buy on promotion. It destroys long-term returning customer rate. So free gift beats percentage discount. Like as I said, they feel more generous and do not anchor customer to a lower price point. Only gift items that have functional relevance to the core product. Never give something that has no connection to what the customer bought. Depending on what they previously bought, you gotta run offer in that category. So think of everything a customer would buy on their own and turn those into gift offers. They feel valuable because they are genuinely useful. So you might have a data on your Shopify account as well, so based on what they have bought in the past, like complementary products, and so you can give them as a free gift as a complementary product as well. So these are the key moments where intentional retention activity has the highest impact. So one is order one. The customer is not loyal yet, they are still evaluating. This is your window to confirm they made the right decision, reduce skepticism, and build perceived value before they consider a second purchase. So order one is one key moment in retention. Next is order two. This is the most important transition in the entire customer lifecycle. Moving a customer from one-time buyer to repeat buyer is where real retention begins. So celebrate this moment and reinforce their connection to the brand. Then order four. By this point, the customer is forming a genuine habit. They have demonstrated real intent. Recognize them, reward them, and make them feel like they belong to something. And order 12 is a long-term loyal customer. At this stage, they are a potential brand advocate. A significant reward here deepens the relationship and increases the likelihood of referral. So what are the emails to send? What are the strategies to use? We've already gone over that. So this is the key moments on the order. So I've also linked the docs down in the description below, so you can go there and see and then come up with your own kind of strategy depending on what's there in the docs for you, which is gonna be of great help. So how do you integrate gifts at this moment? So rather than giving discount at milestone, promote the upcoming gift in advance. Tell customers they are getting closer before they arrive. So for example, you are 1 month away from your free gift. Just keep on going. You are 2 orders away from reaching your next reward. So just giving them an incentive to keep on going, that's going to make sure that they just keep on going. So this turns the gift into a goal. It gives customer a reason to stay consistent with the product and keeps them emotionally invested in reaching the next milestone, which directly increases both retention and purchase frequency. So these are the key metrics you can track alongside returning customer rate. So as you work to improve returning customer rate through email marketing, this supporting metric is going to help you understand what is working and not. Like one is open rate, so are customers even seeing your email? And if it's not, then you can signal it as deliverability or subject line issue. Click through it, are customer engaging with your content? Lower CTR means wrong message or wrong audience. Revenue per email, which email drives the most repurchases. Identify your top performing flows. So you can go in here and you can see this as well. I've linked these docs down in the description below, because like in order for you to have a recurring customer rate high, that means you have more customers returning to your brand. And so like these are the metric that influences as well. So these are important as well. That's why I kept it in here. And these are the industry benchmark for returning customer rates. So if you have a food and beverage, so average is 45 to 60, because this is a recurring kind of product. And then pet supplies is 40 to 55%. Ongoing pet care needs, high emotional attachment to brand. Then health and supplement, you can see the average in here. Like fashion and apparel is normally 25 to 35. So based on what niche you're in, and this is the average, and you can go in your Shopify dashboard and you can see like what percentage of customers are actually returning. And if you're not hitting this benchmark, then you're leaving money on the table, because it's really important for you to have recurring customer that is coming to your brand, buying the product over and over again. So you can see the benchmark in here. If your RTR is below the industry benchmark, the priority is fixing post-purchase experience and launching a basic win-back sequence. So if you are at benchmark, focus on segmentation and loyalty programs to push above it. So this is what you can do depending on this benchmark. So the conclusion of this is, with the right product, right person, right messaging, right timing, you build a long-term loyalty. And this is the foundation of every RCR improvement strategy. Everything else like flows, loyalty program, segmentation is built on top of this principle. So we went deep inside the strategies that you can use for your brand to make sure the customers come back again, especially on post-purchase is going to be the crucial, and email is going to be the #1 channel that you can utilize to make sure the customers keep on coming back. And so if you want to find me on my socials, you can find a link in the description below. You can find me on X, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. And if you are an e-commerce brand and are doing more than $50,000 a month and you want to increase the lifetime value of the customer and increase the profit, revenue, and scale your brand in a healthy way, and want help with your email and SMS marketing, then you can book in a call below. I'll provide my Calendly link below down in the description. So I've also provided with the Gamma docs that I went through in this video. So hopefully this helps, and I'll see you in the next one.